This literally makes no sense. This simple car assembly plant in Pakistan, they only rely on one empty chassis. That can even make a dream bus like an outer capsule. Space today we will witness how Pakistani artisans, this makes it completely by hand. And to save on manufacturing costs, they're going to mass buy back the BAS chassis. Although this chassis is no longer valuable in other countries. But as soon as he arrived at the car assembly plant in these workers here will begin a new chapter for the chassis, because their plant had to produce 6 units at a time. So chassis should be as neatly arranged as possible, because of the length of the chassis that was bought every time. So they used body frame made of pipe box, then can be used immediately after being taken from the warehouse. It also saves half a day of BAS making time. And after measuring the distance and rear frame with precise, craftsmen must also weld the frame horizontal with a beam pipe, but it's clear that it just ties the frame. For the frame and chassis to be a single, in the crack, it also needs to be continuously fitted with beam pipe, and the chassis beam has more stacking points. Quickly, craftsmen install exactly, because the roof of the vehicle doesn't have beam pipes. Modularized already assembled, so the roof needs to be arranged based on the number of longitudinal. Incorporates a bent beam pipe with an angle, so that the base frame can be connected into a single unit. Because the vehicle skid, they don't use fiberglass. When the vehicle body frame needs to be wrapped, they would shape it using iron sheet with bending machine. Even though their bending machine wasn't big, but a large sheet of iron can be connected to a roof with welding rod. During the craftsman, Pakistan uses quite a lot of welding electrodes. Then on a rainy day, there will definitely be no leakage, because the car body needs to go through the waistline, separating the top glass of the bottom sheet metal to increase the contact area of the metal sheet. Waistline 2. Sheet metal mounted in the middle also requires charging with a cell, and the purpose of doing this also to avoid the sound of impact between sheet metal, but the thickness of the metal sheet very easy to cause deformation, so Pakistani craftsmen need to do spot welding during the process so as not to no sheet metal returns to its original shape. To make sure bottom sheet metal matches the waistline, Pakistani artisans will also make cuts based on the data at the location, so that the installation of the car sheet does not interfere. Next step, and to make sure the sheet of the car remains in a horizontal state, position affecting the installation of the car sheet. In this way, sheet car can achieve perfect fitting effect, but the whole car body can't be completely covered with iron. When the rear engine doesn't have the same aerodynamic advantage like the front engine, on condition ensure the engine room can cool well. Car leather also needs to be covered with iron mesh. Not only can this solve the cooling problem, but can also avoid the impact on aesthetics. The whole, and after being examined by 2 craftsmen, because the base engine room compared to the front has a lot of shape design elements, which is integrated. Just this engine room door, which is made of fiberglass. This is also the reason why the back need to use a square pipe as a buffer. After the craftsman used a lot of for binding square pipe, then the engine room door, it already meets the usage requirements, and in a situation where the trunk door need to be opened often, traditional hydraulic lifter definitely have a lifetime. For that, they weld the supports using square pipes. Not only can this change the way the door opens, space can also provide support on 2 hydraulic rods. With the successful installation of the trunk door, now all chassis surfaces are welded, still need to be coated with a thick putty. The entire car body not only need to be coated one layer, but also need to make sure the surface is completely flat. But luckily they're many and strong. It only takes half a day, could meet the basic requirements for painting. While waiting, the surface of the car body is completely dry. Painters, they can start working. Art on the surface requires a lot of stencils, with a variety of different colored decorations. They could just keep waiting for the paint to dry. In this way, stencil texture quality can achieve the best, even though they didn't have a paint oven space. But the results after polishing are still shiny, because this time they made a special route from a fighter to Karachi. To improve passenger comfort, they use environmentally friendly board materials, then evenly flatten it out over the pipe. This box forms a double structure inside the bus, because it's equipped with a state-of-the-art entertainment system inside to ensure absolute sound insulation. The space between the layers of the body should be silencer with. This way the effect of noise reduction in the vehicle can achieve the best. And to provide an outer capsule-like experience, space in the cabin. The entire outer surface need to be wrapped with decorative panels that can give certain privacy spaces. and not visibly shrinking. Then use the same skin to wrap around all the other parts that look, because the use of nails will ruin the beauty of the skin. So they used special formulated fast dry glue. In this way, the surface of the skin will not look wrinkled. And when the interior decoration is neatly done, the craftsmen outside also simultaneously do gluing on the frame, like this double-decker long-distance passenger bus, because the travel time is pretty long, so installed as a wide privacy glass. This not only gives wider visibility for passengers, but it also gives an effect. Good protection from prying eyes. Then a 3-in-1 AC panel is installed inside the, all there from the music, lighting, until the wind is hot and cold. These are the standard conditions given by this bus. And to entertain passengers during the ride, each cabin is equipped with eye-friendly televisions. Television, high quality, usually accompanied by a sofa, comfortable, and to integrate all the switches in the center console. Their engineers would also spruce up all the cables. During the interior finishing process, the front of the car also needs to be affixed with a unique sticker, reflective, to make the bus more prominent when driving at night. And after manufacturing process that lasted for 1 week, which was built completely by hand from the chassis, finally finished off their manual production line. The entire interior not only has ambience lights, colored 24, but it can also set the brightness, according to the outer light. Separate capsules can make sure passengers don't disturb each other. Multi-level design can also provide more options. If you feel that the space capsule is not comfortable enough, separate space in the back can also provide the best solution. Suitable singing can fully satisfy. Even the driver can enjoy the same treatment. With all the car lights on, the streets be the stage it looks. Then, buses that were built completely by hand by their can immediately drive down the road. These are absolutely incredible.